Is coming up next. Thanks for joining me here tonight. I'll see you at 2 o'clock on Monday on Fox News Live. Have a good weekend.
The O'Reilly Factor is on tonight. 2 young people are dead, killed by a repeat drunk driver who should have been in jail. But Ohio Judge John Connor let him out. Angry teachers protest ABC newsman John Stossel will tell you why.
This is probably one of the worst rapes I've ever seen in my 35 years experience.
And Geraldo on violent gangs committing revenge rape. Caution, you are about to enter a no-spin zone. The Factor begins right now. Hi, I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thank you for watching us tonight. So what are we going to do about Ohio Judge John Connor? That is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. In just a few moments, we'll hear from the parents of 2 young people killed by a repeat drunk driver who Judge Connor would not incarcerate. This is the same Connor whom we confronted over the weekend after he sentenced a child rapist to probation. No prison time at all. The rapist, Andrew Selva, admitted to abusing 2 boys in the worst possible way, ages 5 and 12, repeatedly over 3 years. And Connor lets him walk. Why? Well, here's what Connor said, quote, "He's got a disease, like I've got a disease. I don't know that prison would have helped except for revenge, and revenge is not in the sentencing guidelines." Connor might be referring to his own alcohol problem. He's been convicted twice for DUI, arrested for that at least or possibly 8 times. We can't nail it down. But that doesn't matter. Connor's life doesn't matter. The main problem is that that judge will not protect children or adults. He's simply unfit for the bench. The 2 boys who were raped were poor. They are the immigrant children. Their parents are from Sri Lanka. If these boys had been rich, Connor never would have dared to give the child rapist probation. Connor could have given the predator 10 years, which is still not nearly enough for destroying 2 kids. But again, Judge Connor does not believe in punishing adults who rape children. So what are we going to do about this? We have to do something. In Vermont, public opinion forced Judge Edward Cashman, another loopy jurist, to up his sentence to a child rapist from 60 days to 3 years. You remember that the governor of Vermont, Jim Douglas, refused to get involved in the case, and subsequently the Vermont legislature killed a proposed Jessica's Law. That is to Vermont's everlasting shame. Will Ohio behave the same way? Now, Talking Points is asking all Americans to get in touch with Ohio Governor Bob Taft and urge him to drive action against Judge Connor. You can reach Governor Taft by going to BillO'Reilly.com, where we've established a link directly to his office. For those of you living in Franklin County, Ohio, where Connor presides, we urge you to sign a petition to remove him. Again, BillO'Reilly.com will have that information. Ladies and gentlemen, enough's enough. We all have to get involved and send a message to every judge in America. Child rape's a brutal crime that must be punished harshly. Ignore that dictum at your peril. And that's a memo. Now for the top story tonight. On December 17, 2004, 19-year-old Ashley Hack and her friend, 20-year-old Scott Rollins, were driving on a Columbus, Ohio freeway when a drunk driver, Jose Sanpalo, driving on the wrong side of the road, hit them head-on, killing the 2 young people and himself. Sanpalo had an extensive criminal record, including a previous DUI, but Judge John Connor had him released early from prison. And even though Sanpalo violated his parole, Connor would not send him back to jail. Joining us now from Columbus, Melissa Rollins, the mother of Scott, and Connie Hack, Ashley's mom. Ms. Hack, begin with you. Did you ever get to talk to Judge Connor? Did he ever say anything to you, ma'am?
He never said anything to me personally. He did write a letter to my ex-husband, who had asked him some questions about, why he let this guy out early. But as far as me, no. I did some research on the internet about the judge, and I found out about his 8 DUIs, his 3 convictions, the cocaine that was in his car, and I was appalled. And I did everything in my power to tell everyone I knew the story. And I kept thinking, how can I get people to hear this? I don't want this to ever happen to somebody else's family. And I didn't know what to do. But I kept telling the story, and when I would tell the story about the judge's DUI, they'd say the judge. They couldn't believe there was a judge. They thought they meant the man that killed Ashley, who was going the wrong way on the highway, who was drunk. And I said, no, the judge himself. So I kept thinking, can he be impartial? Is this man impartial? Is this affecting his judgment? And the other day when I heard about these two little boys, a chill went through my body, and I realized that it was true. He was not being impartial, and he did an injustice to these little boys. It's an insult.
He's certainly not fit to serve. Now, when he wrote the letter to your former husband, what did he say in the letter by way of explanation on, you know, this guy that killed your daughter and Miss Rollins' son? He had a long rap sheet.
Yes.
I mean, this was a bad guy, robbery and everything else. And then Conor reached into the prison system and pulled him out. And even after he released him, the guy violated his parole, and Conor wouldn't put him back. So what did he say to your ex-husband in the letter?
To be honest with you, I don't remember exactly what he said in the letter, but I do remember the gist of it in my heart was that he was arrogant, mentioned something about an accident his own son had passed, and that I should get on with my life.
Oh, boy. Ms. Rollins, how about yourself? Did you ever have any interaction with Conor? Did you ever speak to him or give you any explanation of why he let this San Paulo out on the street?
No, I have never talked to him personally. The first I've seen him was actually last night on the news.
On our show?
Yes.
When you heard that he let the child rapist out on probation in 5 and 12, the boys, repeatedly over a 3-year period, that must have connected with your situation somewhat.
Oh, yes, it did. I just, you know, me and Connie had talked before. It's just like, it's amazing that, you know, that a judge could do this, let someone walk the streets, and they're supposed to be trying to be safety for us. You know, our kids actually is going now by this judge's decision that he made, and the 2 kids now still, what this rapist did, they're marked for life.
Oh, there's no question. Now, do you blame Conor for the death of your son, madam?
This could have been prevented, yes.
Do you, Ms. Hack, do you blame Conor for the death of your daughter?
Who I blame is possibly the system, because common sense tells us, when I heard he had 8 DUIs and 3 convictions, common sense tells me that, and everyone else I've talked to agrees with me, that he should not have been allowed to stay in his position. So I don't know whether I can blame him personally, but I do blame
well, you know,
whoever.
This is the way I see it. He's sober when he's on the bench. I don't know what he does. Okay.
He shouldn't be there.
I agree with you.
Sober?
I agree with you. He shouldn't be there, and he won't be there much longer. I know the people in America are going to rise up. I know they are. And this is worse than the Vermont thing, what he did with the child rapist, what he did. But, you know, he's sitting on the bench, Ms. Hack. He's sitting on the bench.
The only thing I can tell
and
everybody who's watching.
He knows this San Paulo's a bad guy. And he went out of his way to get him out of prison. And even after San Paulo violated his parole, wouldn't put him back. You know, you ladies are both better persons than I am. Because if it were my kid, I'd probably be gunning for this judge.
I'm not a better person. I've done whatever I could. And the day I got the call from Kathy Harper Lee, I said, you've answered my prayers. And I said, I didn't know what to do. And now I do. Thank goodness people can hear me now. Because I know until it happens to you or your family, it seems you're sad for me, I'm sure, and I'm grateful for that. But I want you to know it could happen to you, and I don't want it to. And because the pain is so deep and so bad that I would want none of you to ever feel, because it's that bad, that I'm trying to now reach out. And that's why I'm sitting here today, to beg all of you to reach out and help us, this little boy, because it could be your family, your son, your daughter, your mother, your father, and I don't want this to happen to you.
Well, don't worry.
And that's why I'm here.
Ms. Hack and Ms. Rollins, we are going to continue on this, and we have the Attorney General of the state of Ohio coming on the factor tomorrow night. And he's a top law enforcement officer, as you know, in your state. And this judge has to go. It's not a matter of being suspended. It's not a matter of being, he's got to go. And we will try to make that happen. And I think everybody's going to rally. Everybody in the country is going to rally behind you. Enough's enough. This guy is not fit to serve.
And I do have to say something, though. I do know probably the Franklin County cops the police officers and everybody has done their part trying to get the guy
Absolutely.
in there.
It's him.
And
it's him, and he's got
the judge is
right.
not following through what they're supposed to be doing.
Well,
so
we will fight the good fight, ladies, and we appreciate you guys coming on the program. And I'm sure you made a big, big difference. And we will have the Attorney General of Ohio on tomorrow night. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Next on the rundown, a gay adoption controversy in Massachusetts between the state and the Catholic Church. And later, gangs committing revenge rapes. Geraldo has been investigating ahead.
Talking Points is brought to you by Saturn.
There is a way to recapture the world's imagination. The 2007 Saturn Sky Roadster, nicely equipped at $24,635. Saturn, like always, like never before.
Who ruins your day? It's me, the Lord of Mishap!
Level 5. Game over.
Farmers Help Point, putting things right the moment they go wrong. Farmers, get you back where you belong.
Best Buy's got cool gifts for every gift-giving occasion. From great wedding gifts to fun birthday gifts they're sure to love. Even cool gifts perfect for any graduate. And don't forget, Dad's Day is June 18th. Best Buy's got hundreds of the cool gifts dads really want. Or go with a Best Buy gift card. Cool gifts for Dad, now at Best Buy.
Do the Cool Whip. Summer has begun, family parties, lots of fun. Do the Cool Whip. Cool Whip. America's berry trees. Cool Whip.
Try delicious new sugar-free Cool Whip.
New sugar-free Cool Whip.
The Braun Activator's smart foil captures hair growing in any direction for a closer shave. And its cleaning center keeps it feeling like new every day. The Braun Activator, the world's best self-cleaning shaver, guaranteed.
Saturday, straightforward and hard-hitting. Kasich confronts real issues facing all Americans.
Folks, that's why we call it Heartland.
Then, breaking down the evidence.
This is unbelievable.
And exposing the truth.
Is the DA's case falling apart?
Today's biggest crime cases are on the lineup.
When America gives a commitment, America will keep its commitment.
Bush's message to Iraq creates deep divisions at home. What's his plan to shore up support and reach a real resolution? Press Secretary Tony Snow responds on Fox News Sunday.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Donna Fiducia. The cleric at a preeminent Shiite mosque is blaming al-Qaeda in Iraq for a bomb attack that killed 13 people. There are two different accounts of how this all happened. Some witnesses say the bomber blew up an explosives belt. Others say it was a shoe bomb that exploded when police approached the suspect. Well, a grand jury deciding not to indict Georgia Congresswoman Cynthia McKinney. She admits to hitting a police officer who tried to stop her from entering a House office building. The grand jury considering the case since March. The incident, the confrontation, leading to much talk on Capitol Hill about the conduct of lawmakers and the officers who protect them. And the House is dealing a political setback to Louisiana Congressman William Jefferson. It took the recommendation of its Democratic members and they tossed Jefferson off the powerful Ways and Means Committee. Jefferson is implicated but not charged in a bribery scandal. So is the shuttle Discovery finally going to lift off for the first mission since the Columbia disaster? Astronauts at the Kennedy Space Center set to find out tomorrow afternoon whether the shuttle mission will happen as scheduled, and that is supposedly on July 1st. Now, a NASA commander telling reporters today everything looks good so far. Our next news break comes your way just after the bottom of the hour. I'm Donna Fiducia. The O'Reilly Factor returns right now, and for all the latest headlines, log on to our website at foxnews.com.
Unresolved Problem segment tonight, gay adoption and religious opposition. In Massachusetts, gays can legally adopt, but Catholic Charities has historically resisted placing children in gay homes, although there have been a few exceptions for hard-to-place kids. Now, last year, Catholic Charities received about $1 million from the Commonwealth for its adoption-related work, but The state wants gays to have equal access, so Catholic Charities is getting out of the adoption business altogether in Massachusetts. Joining us now from Philadelphia, Dr. Larry Chapp, who teaches theology at DeSales University, and from Boston, Thomas Groom, director of the Boston College Institute of Religious Education and Pastoral Ministry. Groom, it seems to me that Catholic Charities is doing the Lord's work by placing children, a lot of them hard, very difficult children to get adopted, and now they're pulling up stakes because they don't like the gay adoption law. I don't know what that's all about.
I think it's a very tragic decision, Bill. I do have empathy for the bishops. In some ways, they were between a rock and a hard place. The state, on the one hand, forbids discrimination in matters of adoption on the basis of sexual orientation. On the other hand, their church was telling them to toe the party line. And their church currently, at least, in a document of 2003, had condemned placing children in gay homes. So, in a sense, these are people, the bishops have a loyalty oath to the Pope and so on.
Yeah, but they did it 13 times.
They were caught.
As far as we can document, the Catholic Charities 13 times did allow children to go into same-sex homes because they couldn't place them anywhere else. And as you know, Mr. Groom, every adoption agency can set its own criteria for what the best family is. And if you're going to have heterosexual parents come in, certainly they're going to be ahead in a Catholic charity situation. So I don't know why they had to bail altogether. Do you, Dr. Chapp? Do you understand this?
Well, I completely agree with the decision of the Archdiocese, and I don't think it's towing the party line. That's the typical way of talking about anytime the bishops go along with the Vatican. The fact of the matter is the Catholic Church has a view of what constitutes a proper family. And essentially, its major crime here is it actually believes a proper family has a mother and a father. And that it wants to give preference to that and does not want to place children in gay couples.
But they will place them there if they can't put them anyplace else. Is the 13 adoptions...
Well, the fact of...
Go ahead.
Yeah, but that's true. But the fact of the matter is there are numerous adoptive agencies in the state of Massachusetts that can deal with high-risk children and place them with gay couples. The ability of gay couples to adopt children is not in any way harmed by this decision of the Archdiocese.
Okay, but is it
this
fair?
This is nothing more than a vendetta
fair,
on the part of Massachusetts.
Whoa. If Massachusetts is giving Catholic Charities $1 million, Doctor, $1 million, and that's a separation of church and state thing we're not going to deal with tonight. But don't they have a right to say these are the guidelines in which we'd like you to follow?
The fact of the matter is the licensing is the bigger issue, not the money. The Catholic Church could pony up the extra $1 million. But the fact of the matter is every adoptive agency in Massachusetts has to be licensed by the state. So the fact that the state has a monopoly on the licensing for adoptive agencies tells me that they ought to give a great deal of latitude to the conscience clauses of religious institutions. The fact that they're not going to budge 1 inch on this issue of religious conscience for the Catholic Church tells me that they're placing the gay agenda ahead of the rights of religious institutions. And I think that's very sad.
Well, Bill, if I could come back in here, hopefully this case is not over. I think it's a sad decision that the Archdiocese of Boston is withdrawing from adoptions. I think the best antidote in our society to abortion is to promote adoption. I think the Catholic Church, the Archdiocese of Boston, should be in the forefront of promoting adoptions in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and throughout the United States. I do think they were following the party line, Larry, in the sense that there were other Catholic moral principles that they could have readily followed, and which you're as familiar with as I am. The old Catholic principle of choosing the greater good. When there are claims in conflict or values in conflict, we've always argued that you're entitled to choose the greater good. And in this case, I don't think they chose the greater good.
All right.
The Catholic Charities
in this case, what you're saying,
founded.
Well, look, I got to run. Gentlemen, I got to run. The bottom line on this is the kids get hurt. The kids get hurt. So the state
and Catholic kids will not be placed in Catholic homes.
The state and Catholic Charities and the Archbishop up there, the Cardinal, whatever he is now, should get together and make an exception because the kids are getting hurt. And that's wrong on all fronts. Thank you, gentlemen.
I agree.
In a moment. He was a golden boy at Annapolis, the quarterback of the football team now. A female midshipman says he raped her. Right back with it.
Before it became my pride, it was my passion. Hey, try one of these new 100-calorie packs.
It's chips. Yeah, but I bet you get, what, 3 chips in this pack?
No, you get this many. Hey!
Wow. All this for 100 calories? These are good.
New Ritz Chips 100-calorie packs from Nabisco.
The tests are completed. The results are in. The all-new Kia Sedona is the first and only minivan to earn both the Insurance Institute's top safety pick and the government's 5-star crash safety rating in all 4 categories. The all-new Kia Sedona, the highest safety-rated minivan ever built. And with a 10-year warranty and $1,500 cash back, it's also the best value on the road.
Take one badly clad dad, one mortified family, and come to the Burlington Coat Factory Father's Day Savings Event for a total dad makeover. Your dowdy dad will be dapper with all the latest, hottest designer labels, shirts, pants, ties, and accessories at 20 to 60% off department store prices. Now you'll be proud to share Dad's gene pool. Come to the Burlington Coat Factory Father's Day Makeover. Love labels, you'll love our prices.
At the end of the day, all you want is to be comfortable. DoubleTree, a member of the Hilton family of hotels.
So Heather, what do you think this is?
I don't know, John. What is it?
It's how you find PD Exposed on demand.
Oh, and how do you do that?
Well, with your Comcast digital cable remote, you click on Channel 1, click on Local Programs, then click on CW14, and then...
Click on PD Exposed.
Exactly.
Yeah, but do you think these guys can figure that out?
PD Exposed is brought to you by PDX Magazine, Portland's Where to Go, What to Do guide, featuring live music, restaurants, nightlife, local sports, and latest trends. Pick up this month's issue today or download your free copy at pdxmagazine.com.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ready or not, here I come.
Good kid shows aren't hard to find with Comcast digital cable with On Demand. You'll get a ton of great kids shows that are ready to watch when you are. Just call 1-888-COMCAST. Comcast digital cable with On Demand. It's Comcastic.
Impact segment tonight, an alleged crime that has rocked the Naval Academy at Annapolis. 22-year-old senior midshipman Lamar Owens, starting quarterback on the Navy football team, charged with raping a female colleague 2 months ago on campus. His naval criminal hearing is now underway. Joining us from Philadelphia, Tim Susanen, a former judge advocate general in the Navy who is closely following the case. All right, Counselor, and first of all, the Navy is handling it. Will the civilian authorities get involved? Because, you know, a rape in the state of Maryland, a capital felony.
Right. It's not likely, Bill. Here's where we are. Last week, for 2 days, the military conducted a preliminary hearing. It's similar to a probable cause hearing that we have in our civilian system. The purpose of the hearing is to determine whether there's enough evidence to send the matter to trial. And if there is, they'll send it to a court-martial. So any trial would stay within the military system.
All right. Is that usually the way it goes as a former JAG? I mean, if you commit a murder or rape and it's on a military base, that the military handles it, the civilian authorities cede that over to you guys?
For the most time, there's a jurisdictional turf battle that could be had there, but frequently the local authorities, Bill, are more than happy to let the military run with it. And for reasons that would make sense, the local district attorney's office, the local U.S. attorney's office, the federal authorities, they're swamped with cases.
Yeah,
and
sure.
It's a resource
and military
issue.
justice is harder than civilian justice, usually. Now, this guy, the accused, apparently there's a tape which is fairly devastating. Why don't you explain that to us?
Sure. The accuser in this case went to the authorities, NCIS, just like the TV show, about a week after the incident, the alleged incident took place. And working with one of the investigators, she called Lamar Owens, and there was a tape recording made of that conversation. And what's interesting is Owens said a number of damaging things in that conversation, like, I apologize, I don't expect you'll ever be able to forgive me, I want to kill myself. But he said one really damaging thing, And this is, of course, after he knows that she's accusing him of rape. And he says, "I didn't do it for long. You were not awake, so I stopped." And the reason that's devastating is if she were asleep, that goes to the consent issue. She couldn't have given her consent. And that's what the prosecutor's case is all about, proving that there was no consent.
Yeah, because otherwise, without the tape, it's a he said, she said. If convicted, Owens could get...
In the military system, it's punishable. Rape is punishable by death. Typically what happens is there's not even a life sentence. If he's convicted, it probably would be a number of years. But one thing that's interesting to me, Bill, about this case, if I may, that tape hands the prosecutors a great piece of evidence. The woman testified last week in this preliminary hearing, and she returned the favor and handed Owens' defense lawyers a great piece of evidence. She was asked by the defense lawyer, is it possible you had an instant message conversation with him that led to some consensual activity? And she said, I suppose.
Yeah.
So we have this very unusual case here where
look, we don't want to try it on TV, Counselor.
and she's helping the...
Yeah, we don't want to try it here, but we will follow it, and we appreciate you coming on the program. Right back with Teachers Mad at John Stossel.
The birth of the next generation of online investing. Now E-Trade technology gives you the power to easily manage cash, research, allocate, invest, analyze, plan, and borrow to make every dollar as productive as possible. Be leader of the pack.
See you tonight.
Okay.
Introducing the new Suzuki Grand Vitara. You want more out of life? Suzuki's giving you the green light. Go. Lease the new Suzuki Grand Vitara starting at $199 a month for 36 months. Hurry in.
During Lowe's Deck It Out days, there's never been a better time to build a deck than right now. Hurry in, because we've lowered prices on select treated lumber. Purchase over $500 of Choice Deck composite decking and get a $50 gift card. Plus, get 10% off all patio furniture sets. All gas grills are also 10% off. Plus, get free propane exchange and assembly. Get $3 off 1 gallon of Olympic exterior stain. Use your Lowe's card and pay nothing for 12 months on any purchase of $299 or more. See store for details. For the deck your house deserves, go to Lowe's. Let's build something together.
Craft your salad.
Pure Dell. It's an uncomplicated approach to unbridled growth. From Unix migration to server consolidation, you can expand seamlessly for a faster return on your IT dollar. And it all runs on new Dell PowerEdge servers featuring the reliability of dual-core Intel Xeon processors. So your enterprise doesn't simply survive, it thrives. That's the direct path to success. That's pure Dell.
I have an innate fear of being boxed in. That's why I left the corporate world. I wanted to create something. But dreams don't pay the overhead. Believers do.
Being open-minded is what led Chris to start his business and why we gave him financing 2 years before his bank would. Open, how American Express serves small business.
Personal Choice segment tonight is getting very personal between some teachers and ABC News 2020 co-anchor John Stossel. After Stossel ran a report in January entitled Stupid in America, the New York City Local Teachers Union took to the streets, and they don't like Stossel.
We are here to demand an apology from 2020's John Stossel for his anti-teacher, anti-union, and anti-public education piece of yellow journalism.
We found no constructive criticism in Stupid in America.
All that we are asking for is fairness in reporting and respect for our teachers, our students, and our public schools.
Well, at first I thought that was the line for Regis and Kelly, but it was to get Stossel. And with us now is the object of the ire, John Stossel. They don't like you, but I'm not sure why they don't like you. Stupid in America basically was kids in high school not learning very well, which the stats bear out.
Yes.
Okay, stats bear out, particularly in New York City, very troubled school system. And you want competition because you feel competition, vouchers, things like that, would make the schools competitive and better. So even if they disagree with that position, that's not yellow journalism.
Well, I agree with you. I'm surprised they're that mad. Certainly if there were vouchers, if there were choice, if the money were attached to the kid and they could take it to any school, some would go to non-union schools, so it would make the union less powerful.
You think it's a union thing? Because we invited Randy Weingarten, the president of the union, UFT. She doesn't like me, and she wouldn't come on. But I think it's more than that. I think basically you hit a nerve here, and they think that you think that they're a bunch of incompetents. I think it's real personal.
Well, frankly, I think the teachers who bother to show up to yell at me are probably the harder working teachers. But we did say in Stupid in America that the bad ones, and there are bad ones, can't be fired. And
how do you evaluate on 2020 who's a good and bad teacher?
I'm not capable of doing that. But I know when they have 80,000 teachers and they've only been able to fire 2 for incompetence in the past 2 years.
This is in New York.
This is in New York City.
Right.
There have to be bad teachers who haven't been fired.
Okay.
Plus, they pay everyone the same. The good teachers and the bad teachers. And
because it's a union contract. It's just like being a subway worker.
And that encourages mediocrity.
I don't know. Generalizing is very hard to do. I agree with you that there are bad teachers all over the place, not just in New York City. And when you have a union, it's hard to get rid of them. But I don't know how you evaluate the bad teachers other than looking at test scores. And it's not fair because some schools are in bad neighborhoods where they don't have good upbringings, and it's not fair to judge them against rich kids.
But if there's choice, then the kids and the parents evaluate the teachers. And word gets out. People know who the good teachers are, and people will crowd to get to those classes. If you had choice, those teachers would make big bucks.
All right, so you want competitive salaries with teachers, but is it a popularity contest? Look at this Benish guy out in Denver. Kids liked him, and he was, indoctrinating him to the far-left business. I'm a teacher, and I used to be a teacher, and I know the tricks. You can make kids like you and still be a terrible teacher.
But I assume their parents would soon figure that out.
No,
which kids were getting into good colleges, which kids were learning.
No, they wouldn't. Believe me, most parents, unfortunately, in our day and age, are so distracted by their own pursuits, they don't know. Not all.